Welcome back to Culture Vulture Radio. I, of course, am Connor, and this is. You're muted.
I just realized that. What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday night. Happy Saturday night. I hope you got that fever and not that dirty syphilis fever or something like that.
What is up, everybody? I, of course, am Connor, and this is Sean, and this is Culture Vulture Radio. This is your Saturday night edition. Before we start, subscribe, share this out there on every appropriate platform. Tell your friends about it because we are the internet losers, or at least I am. Let's grow the fucking show. We've been doing it for a little over 6 months. Numbers are getting way better, and I just want to make sure more people see this.
Yeah, well, we got some good content and stuff. I think that's what it is. We got some good topics, good conversation, good news, some fun shit all around. I think it's I'm glad to be part of this. Let's get a nice cheers to everybody.
Hold on.
Happy
I just dropped something. But yes, like always, before we start, make sure you have your fucking drink. Strap in because I think this is going to be a fun, wild ride. So,
actually,
cheers.
Tonight I am drinking one of my absolute favorites, the anniversary edition of some Bourbon County Stout.
Nice.
I don't know if you can.
Lucky you. I drank.
If you haven't tried Goose Island's Bourbon County Stout, you like stouts or barrel aged stouts, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I had the one the one that I got on Christmas, which, by the way, ridiculous amount of money for a beer was $40, but it was.
That's what this one is.
You know, it's funny when we drank. You know what I think about that? When we drank that night on that thing, that's when I had pneumonia and COVID at the same time, and I couldn't breathe. But there was still that part of me that was like, "You have to have it. You have to."
Yeah, I remember I couldn't drink it for a good couple weeks because I was going through the COVID thing too. So I didn't want to, because it's.
By the way, cheers! I didn't take this yet. So
yeah, cheers to you, bro. Repping a little Blue Point.
Yeah, I got my shit, and then I have the Sam Adams on the side, but that's because I like Sam Adams as a sipper. That's me though.
Fucking Sammy Adams.
You may be wondering about the fucking haircut, by the way, or not you. I already told you, but the people who watch why I have a haircut, and obviously why I have a beard or don't have a beard. So I won my appeal for the COVID mandate for the National Guard after 8 months that they kicked me out. And I didn't take the vaccine because I'm not a fucking foolio. So, damn, I just dropped something. It's gone. I didn't take the vaccine or anything. They told me, and I quote unquote say, I will make your life a living fucking hell. And I told them I don't respond well to threats and I will fight back physically and obviously with lawyers. Then they sent me a GOMAR, which is a general officer's, it's just a general officer that your captain can send to get you fucking kicked out. I didn't sign it. I didn't even write, because if you sign it, no matter what it is, it's an automatic. Means you're guilty. It means it's an admission of guilt. And I didn't sign it, and I laughed. I have it actually. Have it right here. So I didn't sign it and do any of that shit. And then they literally back paid me, and they were like, "Hey, we're low on people. Can you come back?"
And I was like, feeling right there, feeling a victory against the government.
For once.
I unfortunately had to get the vaccine. It was kind of a mandatory thing at my job, and it wasn't really trying to lose my job.
No, your job's great.
Everything. Yeah, I like my job a lot. So whatever. But that required the 2 rounds of COVID and then a booster shot that came up afterward. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the worst part about the COVID shots was just that fever that you get, that sickness. I mean, I think the last one I got, I was sick for like 2 days. Temperature up there and body aches and chills. It really sucked, and it's just like, I don't think that was necessary at all. Plus, I had gotten COVID numerous times afterwards. There was no immunity from getting that shot. Didn't help me in any way. And funny thing is, my wife is not vaccinated. She didn't get the shot. We both got COVID at the same time, and our symptoms were exactly the same. I mean, just to the T. And it just shows, like, I don't know, that maybe, I guess, for me and my body, it just didn't react too well. But it didn't help me in any way. It didn't give me any benefits. We had the same symptoms. So I'd rather have not and gotten jabbed 3 times with something I don't know what they stuck at me.
I just
could have been horse cum,
Oh, you've been lucky. You've been pregnant with a mare. No, I just didn't
Wasn't that
do
like
it,
a
man. It
steroid?
just had
Horse
nothing.
coming in Russia? Don't they inject themselves with horse cum and it gets them strong?
Very strong. We do inject hongos to come. No, I just didn't take it, man. Like, I don't fucking care. I don't want it. And if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. I had it 3 times. The first time was November 2019, so I had it before they announced what it really was. And I went to a doctor. He said, "Oh, you have a strand of SARS-CoV." That's all he said because that's the original virus name. And then 2 months later, it came out. That's what it was. And the first time I had it, I thought I was gonna die one night in my sleep. True story. I told G, "Do not come to bed. I think I'm gonna die. Just check on me in the morning." Um, I was fine.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna die. Don't worry about it. Don't
I
just
didn't
leave
want
me
her
alone.
to wait. I
Stay out
didn't
of
want
the
her to
bed, man.
wake up and roll over and I'm cold because I felt like shit. I just couldn't breathe. Second time I had it, I didn't even know I had it. I just went through a random test for the army and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you have COVID." And I was like, "No, I don't." And they're like, "Yeah, you do." And the third time I had it, I was fine from the COVID. It was the pneumonia. The COVID, I felt fine. And then they were like, "Oh, your whole left lung is filled with fluid." And I was like, "I can't breathe. I'm so terrible."
Well, there's a lot of shady things going on, man. Like I said, I don't know about that, but we got some other shady shit like these numerous attacks on American soil that's happening right now.
Dude, what the fuck is
There's
going
not
on with that?
enough. There's not enough news coverage going on.
Oh yeah.
I
By
think
the
I could
way,
actually.
before you say that, breaking news: another whatever the train company is, I think it's Northern Suffolk. Another train an hour ago fucking derailed completely.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's too many. It just seems very shady.
We're either
And
under attack or our own government is sabotaging us. It's the only two things.
well,
Unless some
that's what
fucking
it feels like. It almost feels
unless
like we're
people are
under attack. But
placing
I'm trying to
fucking
pull up some other ones that. I mean, well, we have what happened, what we spoke about last week with
East
Ohio,
Palestine.
and now they're saying it's not going to be so bad, but there's this chemical particle trail that you can watch and monitor, and it's already gone over us now, and we're here in Long Island, so um, there's just so many things that happened. There was this kind of an attack or whatever it was that happened in Tennessee at
Yep.
a security. It
Yeah.
was like
So
some sort of a security.
that is the Y12 fire, which is
Yeah,
our national. It's one of our national security facilities for uranium. Um,
yeah.
and it's really crazy because obviously with uranium you have a half life of like 25,000, whatever they say. I don't believe that shit because how the fuck do we really know? We haven't been around that long, or we haven't had uranium that long. But I mean, this shit is it's getting crazy out there.
Tonight, we are learning new details about uranium in its metal form. Y12 says that's the substance involved in the fire at its facility yesterday.
10-ish reporter Vinay Simlot explains that material tied to the fire and more about the building where it happened. Vinay?
12. The Department of Energy says it opened almost 80 years ago and it processes uranium. One environmental expert we spoke with says she's not worried about the type of uranium in that fire.
It's always concerning when we hear about an accident.
It's a concern for
$20 says that she's concerned because she was part of the Manhattan Project, which this made uranium for.
Yeah, not in any danger, and it's literally burning uranium.
Oak Ridge City
Not anything.
Councilwoman Ellen Smith, but she's confident in the people who work at Y12.
We do have a workforce here that understands the hazards of the materials that they work with.
For decades, the retired scientist studied the environmental impact of radiation at Oak Ridge National Lab.
I know that there were incidents like this historically with that material that the community probably didn't hear about.
Y12 says.
What did she just say?
Historically with that material that the community probably didn't hear about.
Y12.
That's a little weird. What other fucking incidents have you had there?
But there's like numerous train derailments too. There's another one.
There was one today. There was
Union
one an hour
Pacific
ago.
coal train
Union
derailment a
Pacific,
couple days
Texas,
ago.
Tennessee.
There was at least 2 people killed in an explosion at an industrial facility in Medley, Florida. The video shows multiple vehicles and structures are on fire with people injured. But I mean, you don't
What
really hear
about-
too
what
much of
about
this being
Brooklyn?
posted.
You saw
What
the
was
one
that?
in Brooklyn, right?
One in Fayette County as well. Another fire at a manufacturing alloy plant. It's just I don't know. It just it kind of makes you wonder what's going on. So also, when we had this uranium fire the day before, I know that Russia had waived its last nuclear treaty with the United States, which
SALT 2,
is
I think,
obviously
or
not good for us.
it's called New Start. So it was the original SALT, what I believe. Oh God, there's two of them. I think original SALT was either the 80s, and that stood for strategic arms something limitation. Basically, you just couldn't make or couldn't test nuclear arms in the atmosphere. That was the whole thing. They limited it. So originally, you can test nuclear arms on islands. That's where you get Operation Ivy Mike, Castle Bravo, and all that stuff. And then it went to, or not Castle Bravo. I might be wrong on that one. And then they did undersea tests. So when you took over the atolls in Bikini Atoll and stuff, that's where we got the underwater testing for hydrogen bombs and all that. After that, we were told you couldn't use them in the ocean because of radiation. We eventually sent them into space. So we were launching all these nukes above San Francisco. And the crazy thing is they said it was safe, but those radiation particles rained down. After that, it went down to underground testing. So from undersea and underground to underground. And I think our last nuclear test is 1997. Pakistan did one in 2002. China did one in 2003. And then that I think about North Korea was 2014 was their last one. But the whole thing was strategic or start or new start, whatever you want to call it, because it's the same thing as we can't build new nuclear arms and we can't test them.
Yeah, they're obviously building new nuclear arms.
Oh, so yeah,
they're also running drills with China in their naval drills, which is another scary thing. They have the two of them being friends. I mean, those are two giant armies. I feel like they would be able to dominate anything. It's kind of scary what's going on.
So the whole thing with New Start, it's a reduction of strategic offensive arms. So it's all nuclear shit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just forgot the whole acronym because everybody loves their fucking acronyms. The other thing too with nuclear arms, everybody thinks that nuclear arms will end the world, and it really isn't true because between 1945 or 44 to 1994, the United States itself launched 1,183, I think, nuclear missiles. Russia coming in second, and then Britain, Israel, and
Russia coming in second with the silver medal. Of course, America's got the gold medal in fucking explosions of nuclear power.
Listen, if you think that's bad, in the 50s we had a rifle called the Davy Crockett, and the Davy Crockett was a shoulder-fired rifle. It took 3 people to fire, and it fired a miniature nuclear warhead. It was meant as a squad weapon or a platoon weapon. You would fire it in the enemy's direction, and it created radioactive fallout, but it was enough to wipe out an entire enemy squad and everybody around it. So, I mean, it's crazy what we've done and what we did. The whole thing with the START shit, I don't think that really means much. I don't think anybody's dumb enough to launch a nuclear weapon. If Russia, think about it, if Russia launched one at us and maybe China, then you got Israel, Pakistan, Britain, France, United States, Canada. I think Mexico might even have one at this point because I'm pretty sure they were experimenting. So you have like 4 or 5. You have I have a coalition of nations around me. We got Africa Bambaataa.
Right. Still nauseating to think about like that much power and stuff. You ever watch those videos of nuclear tests and stuff? It's scary. I mean,
so there's
the underwater ones you mentioned. Those are
so there's
wild.
I will recommend if you're ever interested in the nuclear if you're ever interested in the nuclear test, there is a really good movie that came out on VHS. I don't know if they ever transferred it to DVD. It's called Trinity and Beyond. They show every unclassified test that has ever been done and the subjects to it. It started with the ground, and it went so far as to have the Navy present on ships a mile away as they blew these things up underwater like Castle Bravo and Ivy Mike, and the soldiers had to wear goggles, but they still hit the radioactive fallout, and it was to test them for how sick they would get. Now, they gave you a card afterwards that showed that you were part of that test because they knew 50 years later you would develop a really serious cancer. If you lost that card or threw it out, that was the end of you. It was just a human experimentation test. Now, listen, I may be wrong. Maybe they're setting the stage for some weird shit. Maybe let's play fucking devil's advocate. Maybe they're setting the stage for some weird shit, and maybe they really will nuke something. I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to because, I mean, realistically, if you drop the nuke in Manhattan, it's just going to take out Manhattan, explosion-wise, like 5 blocks.
It's still just,
but it's
so
the nuclear
scary.
fallout afterwards and how long it takes. It's a very weird time we're living in. We're living closer to Cuban Missile Crisis than anything. So we reverted back 60 years, exactly 60 years actually, November 2nd, I think. It's really super fucking weird, especially these attacks, like you said. I don't buy it. I just can't buy it. I can't buy any of it.
It's too many. It's weird. Like if that was just the norm and that's how things always were, then yeah. But like out of nowhere for a bunch of them to be happening, you just got to start questioning things because how many attacks are going to happen before you start questioning it? 1, 5, 10, 100, 1,000. It's probably been in the 10s, 10, 20, 30, 50. But there's been so many weird things going on lately, and I think it just
well, if it's attacks, then we really need to start asking ourselves the question is why hasn't the government done anything? That's the big question.
Why hasn't Biden? Biden still hasn't really addressed anything. I mean, come on, we haven't sent any help over to Ohio, and
even the orange idiot said shit to Ohio.
Yeah, yep, I saw that. Even he did.
God, I always say the whole time. First off, I don't vote. Everybody knows that, but the first half of his presidency was fantastic. Second half, he said he spent it pandering, but even he set water pallets and food. I mean, he brought fucking McDonald's because fucking status quo. He's cheap as shit, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the whole fucking deal behind it.
Tell him to get some burgers and fries and call it a day.
Tell him to get some burgers. Tell him to get some za. No, but it's just it's so weird. We're living in. I've been saying this for a long time. I really think that we are living in alternate Hill Valley. Like all this weird shit going on. Biff has his own casino and he's got the almanac.
It's funny because
yeah, by the way, when some guy came back,
Orange Man looks a lot like Biff.
Yeah, they said that was the whole point of it. They said that. I don't know if that's true, but yeah. By the way,
that's more of a Simpsons thing to predict.
Some old guy said if some scientist came back with some wily-eyed head kid, and he pulls out the gun. But yeah, we're living in alternate Hill Valley, dude. Nothing makes sense anymore at all. Like it's so fucking weird. I hate the fact. That's why I called the episode. I changed it, by the way. It's not Black Pill anymore. It's Blackened. We're just Blackened at this point. Like it sucked. It's so
to the point you're feeling almost hopeless too. Like it's like nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's really fucking terrible. Like we're living in this paradox where we're obviously way too, not you and me and the people listening because we're smart. No, but we're way too dumb to sit there and start asking questions. But we're also way too powerless.
Well, I don't think it's that because I know there's a lot of people that ask questions, but it's like on the platforms that you're asking these questions, they have these restrictions and these algorithms that will strip certain words and certain things from being shown and
not one of them
at the bottom of your feed.
Not one of them. One of them is open to all of them, and that's because some really rich guy brought it out.
Yeah, but Facebook really, really limits. I mean,
yeah, that's why I'm careful with the
crazy.
wording.
Like you really have to go digging for certain stuff if you want it now.
Yeah, that's why I go dig. That's why I word it certain ways. But like, we're really living in such a weird timeline.
Well, if you want to say something, you got to use like emojis in the letters and like, dollar signs as S's and just kind of throw them off because then the computers they don't know what the hell to do.
By the way, but you were talking about like things that you thought were attacks and stuff like that, and we were talking about the things like the warehouse fires and shit. So this happened yesterday in Brooklyn.
There's a hurt following a raging four-alarm fire in Brooklyn.
Yeah, the fire started in a lumber storage building and spread from there. It's been going on since this morning and still smoldering. 6-7 Shirley Chen live at the scene in Williamsburg with more. Shirley.
Well, Tamsin and Corey, at this hour, crews are still working on this fire. Now, the first call came in more than 7 hours ago, and as you mentioned, what's making things so difficult is that this is a storage facility for lumber. It is down the street behind me. That is where this building in question is. It is taking crews a long time because you have a lot of wood. You also have combustible material, making it very difficult. Let's show you some video that we shot just a short time ago here. Now, flames breaking out just before 11 a.m. at the one-story commercial structure structure on Hughes Street and Broadway. It went up to 4
What's up,
alarms
Aaron?
at one point. Over 200 FDNY and EMS members were on scene. The fire started in the storage facility, which is also connected to a 3-story building. It extended to that structure, but quick work by the FDNY stopped the fire from fully spreading next door. Now, because both buildings are commercial, there were no residents, so there did not need to be an evacuation. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt, but it has been a lot of work for these crews.
So before we go on, I just want to say a buddy of mine is watching Aaron. Aaron is a good buddy of mine from the National Guard. And Aaron has had my back through some weird shit, and he'll attest to that. I just won't say it online because fucking weird. But Aaron, I hope you're doing good, and I can't wait to see you this coming Friday. So if you could do me a favor, by the way, send me the report time for that because I don't know it. But yeah, this is another one of those things where it's just.
Well, this one looks like just it's just a lumber facility.
But with the metal facility, like the bigger picture, like it's all the things you need to build, all the things you need to, like, look at all the egg facilities. We're talking about all these things. By the way, Aaron, if you could just, I would hop over, only because I can't monitor the chat for Facebook on this thing I'm using. Just go to the YouTube link or something, Culture Vulture Radio, and then chat there, and I can chat with you. But like, all these facilities, all these things going down, like, how is nobody quite, like, it's so
there was a ton of fires
weird.
at
It's so
food facilities
weird.
last year.
Yeah, and that started
There was like 30 or 50 of them. It was a fucking wild amount over the course of a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of scary, man. But yeah,
It
after a
doesn't
while,
make
like,
sense.
How
And
many
then,
does it take before you start questioning?
But then think about it. All those food facilities go up in flames, and then, oh yeah, by the way, we have your eggs are going up, your steaks going up, your chicken's going up, and it's like, well, how? I don't want to tell you what I think it is. I will. I really think it's one of those things. I'm going to, because I just think it's one of those things where it's like, almost like the Georgia Guidestones, where it's like, they're gonna starve us. If by the way, if you think that like your government is out to help you, they're not. There's a reason why they're a certain class. They're just not going to help you.
I mean, I fully agree. They're not here to help us. They're backed by corporations, and they work to help giant corporations all the time. They work to help big farm, which we know, big farm's not the worst thing, but it's not the best thing. That their whole philosophy is getting people onto, prescription drugs and all sorts of unnecessary things rather than addressing the issue. But that's a whole other conversation. I think we should move on. We are definitely rabbit holing this one.
Oh yeah,
this is not the
for
conversation.
sure we are.
I mean, this is the type of conversation that's just like, it's kind of endless. Like,
I could go on forever, baby.
Seriously.
I had that one. I never downloaded it, but it was the George Carlin thing. What are these people are big, stupid fucking morons, like all that shit. So this
George
thing,
Karkar?
huh?
George Karkar?
George Karkar. So this thing happened. So this was in Florida. And this is really weird. So this teacher took this fucking video game away from a student who was my height, 6'2", but he was 260.
So the first thing I question is just how different school is now versus back in the day. Like,
way too different.
Why does a student have a video game?
Way too
I'm guessing
different.
it's one of these portable things, these like PSPs or something. Or
Yeah,
PSPs,
yeah,
that's
it
old.
is.
PSP is like 15 years old, but okay, that's what it is. Never mind.
It is, but
I'm
still, like,
dating myself
it's
like a
way.
dinosaur.
When you and I were in school,
How do you get an Atari into school? I don't get it.
No, when you and I were into school, it was very weird. You had a kind of fear and respect for that teacher because you knew the teacher would go home and tell your parents you get fucked up.
Yeah, there's a lot of wild shit going on.
A lot of weird shit. So this
students in high school swinging on students and swinging on teachers. I mean,
ooh, Aaron Krudner is in YouTube. Ooh, goddamn, Aaron, what's up, baby? So this happened. This was a Florida thing. So this teacher took this fucking handheld away from this kid. I'll be honest with you, the teacher almost fucking died. Like, I turned the sound off, but like that's her. So she took the thing away. Instant knockout. By the way, people just walking away. Like, I can't play the whole thing because I think it's way too violent. I don't want to bring violence to the show like that. But it's just like, he only got away with a juvenile felony charge, which, by the way, is you're 18, that's expunged. There's really no paper trail. But it's so
That kid, there's nothing that kid I don't think is going to be doing in this future that's good
Nah.
or going to benefit this society. I
Nah.
mean, that's like it's one thing if he accidentally knocked her out or whatever, but like he knocked her out and then continued to just wail on her while she was out. So many layers
it
of
gets. I
fucked
will
up.
say that the video gets way worse to the point where he's stomping on her, and that's why he got charged. Florida is very strict. I will say that Florida is very strict. Ron DeSantis does that shit. It's weird because when we went to school, you had this certain fear and respect for teachers, and it's suddenly gone.
No, I don't remember kids fighting students
No.
like that. I mean, I
Or
remember
teachers.
from that movie, Lean on Me, I think it was.
The
That was a
Rob
fucked up
Reiner movie.
but nah, was that Rob? Did he make that movie?
Is that the Lean on Me is the one with Corey Feldman where they go through the train tracks and they find the fucking
No, that's Stand By Me.
Stand By Me? That's Rob Reiner.
Lean on Me was
Is that the one with Edward James Olmos and he's the teacher? You want to sit there and you want to learn problems. You got to sit there and add 3 + 3, dummy.
Lean on Me film 1989. It was
Edward James Olmos, I think. Umos.
Robert Guillaume. Morgan Freeman. So it is a Morgan Freeman thing, right?
Not Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman was in it. Yeah.
There was
But,
one
he
time
plays
where
a
I
teacher
sat
that goes to
there.
this really fucked up school, and there was one scene where I don't remember how the teacher got involved with the student in the lunchroom, but the student.
Oh
knocked the
shit!
teacher
Where he
from the ground and
smashes his
grabbed
head on the ground, dude.
starts
Holy
smashing his head
fuck!
into the ground,
You know what's
blood
funny?
everywhere.
Now,
I was like, wow, it's terrible.
what's up, Pablo? Pablo, go to YouTube so I can chat with you. I can't chat on this thing. You know what's funny is like for years I had a weird memory of that movie because I don't remember it, and then you just said that, but I always remember that the kids were fighting in the lunchroom with the trays, and then he's taking the teacher's head and smashing it in. Holy shit! I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah, that's actually a really good movie too. I think I want to say it was based on a true story. But
That'd be great if it
was a wild school. Graffiti everywhere.
Narrated by
crazy spray
Morgan
paint.
Freeman. There was a point where I had sat there, the kids smashing their heads across the teachers, and
That movie I remember being really good, but I was a kid, so I also remember Robin Hood being really good. Prince of Thieves, whatever, or the Kevin Costner version, and that's got Morgan Freeman in it as well. So I went back a couple years ago and watched that movie, and
it was
really
shit.
couldn't get too far. I'm not gonna lie, the acting. I mean, I'm not an acting genius. I don't know what good acting or great acting would be, but
Well, you don't
it was
have to
terrible.
be.
It was
You don't have to be
fucking
because
terrible.
well, you don't have
Morgan
to be because
Freeman was playing this. I don't know where he was from, but he had this terrible accent that he was just like going in and out of the entire time, and it just felt so fake. I like Morgan Freeman was really, really bad in it too. I just remember that movie sucking really, really bad. I couldn't finish it. I know there's probably a bunch of guys out there like clenching their fists, like, "Oh my god, if I ever see you in the street for saying this about that movie."
I hate the poopily kids. Well, you don't have to be an expert in acting. That's the whole point about acting. You just have to be the guy who watches it and believes it.
Yeah, I didn't believe it, especially Morgan Freeman's fake accent. I mean,
Like the only time I could put acting aside is any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Because come on, let's face it, there's not an Austrian guy in every military force.
but
Dutch,
I'm
you
not
son of
watching
a
those
bitch.
movies. I'm not watching those movies for the acting. It's like
Entertainment.
Commando. That's some of
By
the
the
worst
way,
acting ever.
before we go on, I just watched Kindergarten Cop for the first time, and I know you're going to say that's weird, but I just watched it for the first time because I hate 90s Arnold Schwarzenegger. Pretty good. Not bad.
I've never seen that movie, but I would go watch it. I love 90s Arnold.
I hate him.
Except like late 90s started getting really
Okay,
bad.
except for he did that one Eraser. That's the one I like, where he's the he's the body cleanup, not really body cleanup CIA guy. And he's like, you have to lay inside of this body bag. I have to make it look like you're dead. And it's got the guy. He killed himself. He's really fuck. What's his name? He's famous in a lot of movies. God damn it! I have to look it up while we're doing this because if I say the movie, you're gonna go, "Oh shit!"
Well, he's also. You ever seen that movie Last Action Hero?
Yeah, it sucks. It's terrible.
Oh, that movie's terrible, man. I know there's more adults that were kids loving that movie, clenching their fists right now. So I'm gonna fuck him up when I see him. But that was another bad one. I couldn't stand that movie.
Yeah, it's got Sinbad in it, right?
No, that's Jingle All the Way.
Last Action Heroes was the one where he comes through the theater screen at the kid, like the music video.
Yeah, the kid gets that special movie ticket, and the old man invites him into the back room and shows him what the ticket's really worth.
Oh, there we go. Robert Pastalori. That's his name. That's the dude.
Robert Pastalori. I don't.
If I hold on, let me see if I can find the movie. Beverly Hills Cop 2. He plays Vinny.
Vinny.
He's like his good friend. He's the Italian. Let me see if there's anything else. That's it. He fucking killed himself, I guess. I think, or he died of cancer, but I'm pretty sure he killed himself. Look up Vinny on that one, and you'll be like, oh, I understand now.
He doesn't really look. Oh, all right. So I know he is.
Yeah, he overdosed.
But no, yeah, he had some. Yeah, he overdosed, and also Pastor's 25-year-old girlfriend, Sharman Jonovich, was killed by a gunshot to the head during the authorities' investigation.
Yeah. That's right.
In the midst of an
right.
argument between the two of them, she suddenly produced a handgun and killed herself.
Yeah, he killed her and then killed himself. Let's be real.
No. No, there was an argument, and she took a gun out, and he said that she just shot herself and killed him in front of her. He didn't die during that, but it says declare the cause of death undetermined. Like, that sounds sketchy. Sounds like he killed her.
Yeah,
shot her in the head. What a psycho! And then death. At the time of his death, he had been forewarned. The authorities were planning on arresting him for further questioning regarding the shooting. So,
which means he might have been guilty. I'm not saying he is. Allegedly, he might have been
probably
guilty.
Was, but the fatal blood concentration of morphine.
You have to say allegedly.
It sounds like he did kill himself. It sounds like the narcotic overdose was intentional. After hearing that he was going to be questioned again, because obviously it sounds like he killed her too. Well, sounds like a real stand-up fuckface.
So I'm going to go bathroom. I've already seen this video, but speaking of wild kids, so Austin was taken over this weekend, or last weekend, sorry, because we're a week behind because of the show, by a bunch of street racers. Dude, did you see this shit?
This sounds like Mastic with the fucking kids on the bike.
Oh my god, dude.
Kids in
this gets
Mastic
worse.
Beach rolling through the bike and taking over.
This gets worse. I'm literally going to the bathroom. I'm putting this on for you because I've seen it. Dude, you have to see this shit.
You may have seen this shocking video all over social media. A large crowd blocking the intersection of South Lamar and Barton Springs Road. You can see an APD unit trying to break up the crowd, but it's just too many people. At one point, fireworks were thrown at police vehicles. Thank you for joining us for KVUE News at 10. I'm Darrenisha Heron. Just within the hour, we got new information about multiple street racing incidents that happened across the city last night. Also, police say they responded to 4 different locations where officers encountered reckless driving, bottle throwing, and several of their vehicles were damaged. APD says it took them 20 minutes to respond to the first call because there wasn't a unit available in the area. KVUE's Kelsey Sanchez is live at one of the locations on South Lamar and Barton Springs Road with more on the people arrested and the officer injured. Kelsey?
Darnisha, good evening. Yes, we're learning more about what took place across Austin, and we did find out that 2 people were arrested during these street racing incidents for evading police. We also found out that one officer who was hurt did suffer a non-life-threatening injury. They were treated at the hospital but have since been released. I did talk to one man earlier, and he tells me he saw the whole thing, and he tells me he's never seen anything like this. Donuts and fireworks erupting at the intersection of South Lamar Boulevard and Bar.
Dude, this shit is so fucking wild. Like, they took this fucking, by the way, Austin, like, a lot of people think like Texas is like bang, 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 Republican. It's not. When you go to Austin, it's not. It's Mastic Beach wild. Anybody who grew up in Mastic Beach, like you even mentioned before with the motorcycles and the bikes and the ATVs. ATVs, by the way, Mastic Beach are, they're bad. Like,
they come with the house, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you might be right.
You get a house and you get an ATV. Yeah. So this video that they're showing, it looks wild, obviously, and it looks like, 30, 50, I don't know how many fucking people, but it's one cop showing up to break that up. Like, obviously he's gonna be outnumbered. It just shows like one cop rolling up and be like, "Oh my God, run away, run away, run away." It just doesn't. It doesn't look like it was that bad. I mean, you sent five cop cars. I guarantee you it would have been a little easier to handle. But this just looks like it was poorly. I mean, another thing that you got to question is, it said 20 minutes for cops to respond. Why is it that there was no
Aaron
cops,
says
or
that Austin is a cesspool, and I believe him because I think he was down there at one point.
but why 20 minutes to respond? Did they not give a shit, or is it just that bad of an
Hey,
area
man,
that
listen,
there's no cops available?
We grew up in a place where, come on, how many times were the cops called to Mastic Beach? It took an hour. 20 minutes
Well, you know
is
what sucks?
great.
When we first got there, it was 88, and Mastic Beach was a really, really nice place. You know, it was the worst thing you had was like some abandoned houses and stuff like that. But it just since then has gotten so much worse. Like, talk about mid 90s, it started going downhill. Early 2000s, really, really bad. I remember in high school, there was kids making little ghetto shit gangs and stuff like that. One of them, they called themselves the Soldiers.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that, the Soldiers with
The
Nate.
Soldiers, yeah, and they were just punk assholes. But you just didn't have things like that. Now it's much worse. I'll stay on, you know, like the chats and stuff, and seeing people post things about Mastic, and there's like stabbings all the time, people getting robbed all the time, people's cars being stolen all the time.
Oh yeah,
that shit did not happen when I was a kid. There was some weird freak accidents. Well, remember there was the accident where the person shot the bow and arrow out their window, shot into the person's chest, and the person pulled the arrow out and killed them. They bled to death. I mean, that's not what
no,
killed them,
I don't
shot
remember
the
that. What
arrow,
the
but-
fuck are you
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about?
that was like 15 years ago. That was over off Mastic Road. I mean, there was that girl Laura Zine that was stabbed by the psycho boyfriend. I mean, there's just a lot of fucked up things going on.
Well, you have to remember there was the guys at the corner, the two best friends. I won't say their name on the air because people we know watch them. But you had the two best friends. Remember that, like 2009. They remember it was Maywood and Flower. The guy shot his best friend in the face.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was
So
sad.
it got really weird. So Mastic, for anybody who doesn't know, Mastic Beach gets really weird. So Mastic Beach will do this weird thing where it's okay, and then it jumps really hostile and then goes down. I think Mastic Beach probably got its worst at in 2012. I don't know how it is now because I've been gone for almost 3 years, but 2012 is probably the worst. That's when you had the shooting. That's when I watched. One night I was walking home with James actually. So James and I were walking home from it might not be 2012, might be the year before. We were walking home from Eddie and Eric Longpre's house. We all sat there drinking. So we walked home. We took Flower home, and then all of a sudden we see ambulance outside. There's a bar in the middle of for anybody who doesn't know, there's a bar in the middle of Mastic Beach called Lindsay-Torres, and Lindsay-Torres is a notorious shithole. But we see ambulance, and we're like, we're drinking, like, all right, fuck it, let's go see what's happening. And we're like, what happened? They're like, oh, they fucking killed this dude, and it's this dude that I talked to earlier that day named I think his name was D Money, but it was just weird. They stabbed him in the chest, and Mastic Beach goes through that cycle where you just like, it's either really good or really bad, and there's no in between. And it will never get better because that town was just cursed.
You know, it's funny. I remember there was graffiti over by Lindsay-Torres on one of those back houses. It was either "Rest in Peace, D Money" or "D Money was here." Like, he did it.
D
I
Money
remember
was
that on the
here.
side of- yeah, that was on the side of a house for a long, long time years ago.
Yeah,
So,
so
right behind
the
Lindsay-Torres,
dude-
there's attached apartments. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
Yep, the yellow ones.
It's one level apartment there, and no, there's a it's almost like a motel type style of
Yeah.
apartments.
Mhm.
So I had to deliver beer back there one time, and you deliver the kegs in the basement. Very, very shady, old, fucking weird building. But then there's all these apartments where it's just these apartments that just literally like a mattress on the floor, maybe an old school TV,
Mhm.
and like their clothes thrown around everywhere, and it was just like very dismal, sad living. But I can see why it would breed crime and shit like
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah. My buddy lived there, Matt. And then another kid I knew who I was friends with named John until he came over and lied and said he told James that I said he could borrow Mafia for PS2, and I never said that. So I had to go back there and get that. But yeah,
How fucking dare he?
Yeah, so Matt lived there, one of my good friends, and I remember I walked in. His apartment was nice though; like they did it up. They were from fucking Portugal, and I remember the dad being like, "These motherfuckers, they don't know anything." But I remember that D Money was here on that side of that building because they put that up after he died. I thought that was weird because I was like, he's not here anymore. I know it sounds weird, but I was like,
Or D Money.
D Money in here.
Yeah.
Barton Springs Road in Austin Saturday night after Austin police say people were street racing.
There's been some crazy things happen, but nothing even close to that.
Joseph Becker works in the area. He says he saw the whole thing unfold and called the incident nerve-wracking.
Some of the cars were leaving like...
Did she say nerve-wracking?
I gotta fucking stop. If you're a grown man calling street racing nerve-wracking, you're a fucking pussy. I know that sounds terrible.
Nerve-wracking?
Is it? I don't know.
I could have sworn it's nerve-wracking.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's nerve-wracking. Yeah, nerve-wracking.
Yeah, yeah. But if you're a grown man calling street...
I mean, it wrecks your nerves. Like, it's not wrong.
No, it's not. It doesn't wreck your nerves. Just stay out of the fucking street. This guy's a fucking... He's a fucking
bro.
pussy.
What if this guy lived? What if they were doing this shit right in front of his house? If that shit was, I'd be like, this is nerve-wracking because
okay, in front of his house, but it wasn't in front of his house though. It was like a couple blocks away. They even said that. Nah, that dude's...
Oh, he probably heard it. I'd still be pretty annoyed.
It's not
like,
nerve-wracking.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go down there by yourself?
No, I would just...
You're right. It's not nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking.
It's not nerve-wracking.
Nerves.
It wrecked him. Dude, he had a stomach ache, bro. Yeah, he had bowel movements.
Fishtailing out of here, so it was a little nerve-wracking even being on the sidewalk up here. I can't believe more people didn't get hurt, like, honestly.
One officer hurt and several of their patrol cars damaged. A Travis County Sheriff's spokesperson says 2 of their patrol cars were damaged and had to be towed after a crowd threw objects at them, shattering windows.
It's pretty much common knowledge that APD is, understaffed and underfunded and those types of things, and those type of kids are just going to take advantage of that.
It's not clear what led up to the incident or if this was planned, but Austin police reassured this behavior.
First off,
that guy didn't look like the type of person to give such a well-rounded comment and such good input.
After you said that, or after I saw this, I said, what do you mean it wasn't planned? Of course it was planned. Who cares?
Yeah, they all knew. They all knew that. I think it was so planned. They probably hung flyers on fucking telephone poles. People knew about that. There's like 100 people there.
Aaron thinks that APD understaffed is the funniest thing. Yeah, I'm sure they are. Every police station is,
crazy. But in those bad areas like that, like the worse it is, the more understaffed and the more underfunded they are. Like I remember Camden was so bad years ago, and I think they got rid of their police force for a brief period of time.
Funny story about that. So the year you're talking about is 2010. So.
Yeah, that would be the year of the Ozzy show.
So I went to Ozfest in 2010, and a month before they got rid of the Camden police force, and we had to go to Camden for that. When they let out, I think it was 10:30, 11 at night. Dude, there was prostitutes everywhere. Like nobody gave a shit, and there was not a cop in sight. I remember being like, "This might be the night you get killed." Like I remember being like, "Ooh, this is fucking weird. Like this is not good." But Camden was so
prostitutes around and everything, but I've never. The first time I ever dealt with like actual open prostitution was Vegas. So we got off, and once you go right off the strip, there was dispensaries and stuff like that. So we were gonna hit up a dispensary, and there's prostitutes everywhere sitting outside. Then you get on the strip, and they're handing out what looks like baseball cards.
Yeah,
and
business cards. Yep,
their stats and everything. Like, I played for the fucking Chicago Big Dicks, and I've been known to jack left and right hand. My height, my size, I think it's the same measurements as Brick House.
I've been known to jack with my left and right hand. Is the funniest shit
I'm left
I've
and
ever
right
heard.
handed. I'm fucking talented. How many years they've been doing it? Their rookie year, But I think actually I took a bunch of the cards from those women because I gave them to James when I got back from Vegas. And he was like, "Bro, I don't fucking want these. These are disgusting." I was like, "I don't know. I thought you'd find them funny." He was not too thrilled with them.
What's funny is years later, after you did that, he went to Queens and he got one from a guy that turned out to be part of a gang from Central America. I won't name the gang because I'm just not doing that. But I remember I looked at it, and the girl was beautiful. She was beautiful, but I remember being like, oh, she's beautiful, but that's a sex slave. Like, just not playing it. And it by the way, it wasn't her phone number. It was his phone number. Like, I remember looking at it. It was just like, call Miguel, and I was like, woo.
You call, and he answers the phone, puts her on.
What's up,
But what you
fucker?
actually see behind the scenes is he calls. She's tied up in a room. Like, I want to talk to them. I'll give you the ransom, but I need to know they're safe. He's like, all right. She's like, what? You want fuck? You want fuck? She's all tied up, and he's like, all right. You heard her voice. You know she's here. How much? How much? How long?
I never
kind of imagine a
It's
Taken
weird,
type
like,
scene.
you know, it's weird as an adult dude, I guess. Like, I never got prostitution. Maybe because I've never
fully
did it.
agree with you, man.
Maybe because I never did it, but
Well, you know what? I guess there's those people out there that really just like have a tough time and can't do it. I mean, but it's
nah, anybody can do it,
you
dude.
know,
It's so easy
yeah,
now.
Well, no,
Maybe
no,
it's a
no.
thrill.
So-
Maybe it's the thrill
so
of
that
getting
being
one.
said, so I'm leaving work Friday, or
Oh
was
my
it?
God,
It's
I
Thursday. I'm
can't
leaving
wait
work
to hear
Thursday,
this.
and I'm in the elevator. I get on. There's a couple of people. There's this one guy in there, and it's a tech company, so it's that you got some people that are just a little weird and out there. But this guy, he was like one of those like kind of just like very nervous and like lurchy, lanky people. But he gets on, and he's like kind of making a couple weird noises and stuff, and then anybody that gets on the elevator, he's like, "You're going, you know what? If the elevator's going up or down, just you press the button, to go up and down." And every time he gets on, he's like, "You're going down," and they're like, he's like, "Oh, sweet, awesome," and they get on, and then he like says like a weird comment to them, and it was just like. You turn and look at this guy. It was like and the comment was always very, very weird and out of nowhere, but he just had such a strange look to him. And I thought to myself, you know, this guy does not get laid, and I felt bad for him. I almost like I was like, bro, I'll buy you a prostitute, and that's what the prostitutes are for. But you know, I also feel the same way about strip clubs, and I'm not a fan of strip clubs.
Well, I don't like strip clubs because I think strip clubs are kind of gay. That you have to sit there.
well,
I know. Think.
you
Hold
spend
on.
a
hold
lot
on.
of money for nothing, kind of.
Well, I think it's gay because I think it's weird to get in a room with a bunch of dudes to be like, "Let's get fucking hard-ons." Joe, you have
Well,
to,
maybe that's
Joe,
what
you
they
have to
wanna do.
understand. We're sitting there, fucking 1985. I get a fucking hard-on next to Billy. Next thing you know, first strip club. That's it. We get fucking hard-ons. Nah, it's just fucking weird. Like, dude, first off, is it cool to watch a girl tear clothes off? Sure, I guess. You and I are married. You know, it's different, but like, like
You
I
gotta
don't- I
wear
just
wear
don't-
loose jeans when you go to the strip club.
What'd you say?
You gotta wear loose jeans when you go to the strip club.
Wear them fucking sweaters. Nah, it's just fucking. It's just dumb. Like, who gives a shit? Who cares? That's the way I feel. Who,
I get. I don't
who
know.
cares?
It's just. I think it's just not my scene. I guess I could see people being super into it, but just not my scene.
Yeah, maybe
It's
you're
not-
right. Maybe
it's
that's
not-
the whole
it's not
thing.
my scene, bro.
Maybe it's just not my scene. But I just don't feel the same way. Like I got invited to one. I got invited to two. The first one when I was really young, and then the second one was like 6 months ago. And I sat there and I was like, no, like, well, one because I really like my wife. Like, I don't want to sit there and love my wife, but like her, but like I don't want to sit there and look at other chicks naked. I can go home and do that.
I went to a grimy one years ago for a friend of mine's. Oh, it was his bachelor party actually, and this place was called Billy Dean's. It was pretty grimy.
Do I know this
But I remember on
person?
the way there, everybody was drinking, and I remember somebody had to pee, and they didn't say anything to me. I was driving
I know
their
this
mom's
person.
car at the time, so like that's why I didn't really give a shit. But they literally just, I had no idea what was going on until I hear everybody giggling and laughing. I look behind me, and we're on Southern State, which is a kind of a tight, fast highway
Yeah,
at night.
Southern
And they're
State's
just standing
shit,
there
by
with
the
their
way.
pants up, and they're just pissing out the back window of this fucking Jeep Liberty. I was like, oh man.
Well, you should probably tell everybody what you did.
What do you mean?
Swerve the
Oh,
car.
I swerved.
You swerved.
I swerved. I fucking swerved to make a business side because it wasn't my vehicle. 100% I swerved. I did a quick little doot, you know. They hit him with a little doot. Speaking of swerving, I remember one time a friend of mine, I'm not gonna say names, but a friend of mine was, they were like, my ex was in the car and they were having a conversation. They were like kind of both against me, and it was really annoying me. So we're on that bend coming up Neighborhood Road by not Town Express, Sunshine Deli Corp, that shitty deli. It was used to be Oakwood. And I remember taking the turn and then dipping to the right and then back to the left just so I could slam his head on the glass. Totally did. I just dipped so hard that his head bounced off the glass in the car.
Aaron said, I saw my
So
high school
fucking
popular girl. I saw the high school. Well, he spelled it wrong, or he said it twice. I saw the popular girl from my high school working there. She was
Like
amazing.
Billy Dean's?
I don't know Billy Dean's, but it was a strip club. I'm happy with her life choices. God damn it, Aaron. You would be happy with her life choices. God damn it.
You don't like paying a couple $100 to see Moose Knuckles?
No, for sure. He does, maybe. I don't know if he does.
When those Moose Knuckles sneak up right behind you?
No. Oh, ooh, speaking of Moose, you haven't seen this. So this happened. This was yesterday.
Hey, 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 watch out! Watch out! Get up!
Did it just tackle some woman?
This is a moose running after. This woman was just walking and this moose ran up.
Hey, 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 watch out! Watch out!
Dunked her fucking head down.
Dude, I know it's terrible.
Psych.
I know it's terrible, but wait, hold on. The best part about it, let me see if I can get back to it. Oh, God, I clicked the wrong one. I don't care about this fucking orange asshole.
Hey, 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 hey!
This bitch right here in the mirror, just filming it. She knows it's going to happen, but look at this.
Hey, watch out! Watch out!
He comes up with this fucking
Get up!
with this pussy.
Dude, look
And
how...
then he stops afterward, too. Like, that
Look
was
at
his
him.
intention. His
Here we go.
intention was just...
You guys,
to
this moose
smush
is
his-
chasing this person. Go, love.
Dad, go up. And we should give him a heads up. Hey, 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 watch out! Watch out!
Bro, he lays a motherfucking ground pound into her. Aaron
the way
said,
he came up
Aaron
on her,
said by the
too.
way, he got to finger her for a discount. Aaron, you're a sleazy bastard, and you know I know that about you.
Well, that's one thing. You Army, military, National Guard people love your strip clubs. I know you don't,
he's
but
he's not like that. For now, he's not. But Aaron knows about Vasa
he's a good boy now.
He knows
He's a
about the
good boy
Vasa
now?
Ibrat, Kota Untag, Aaron, Vasa Ibrat. Yeah, he speaks German.
I
No,
just
he's
don't
a
army
cool-
people to be like wild in the strip clubs.
No, they are. They're very disgusting. But Aaron's not. Aaron's super fucking cool, man. It's one of my good friends. I,
mean,
can't
feel
wait to
free
see
to
him
not
Friday.
comment, but wasn't there a story about a crew you were with, I guess National Guards, that rented a
Oh yeah, no, I'll
vehicle?
tell that. No, I'm going to tell that. There's two of them. This is a real story. So we're on the COVID mission for, and you'll love this because you don't know the whole story. I just told you the half, and that was like I'm surprised you remember this. So we were assigned through a COVID. Seth Biso. Why does the same guy keep commenting? I don't, because it's me, Seth. You want to kiss? I'll kiss you. But I mean,
What's up, Seth?
I'll kiss you. But yeah, there was two stories. The first one was these guys got issued a vehicle in the Bronx, which, by the way, it was just a regular van. I don't know why they fucking did this. They took the van to a family member in the Bronx, and they fitted it with rims and a sound system. And the
first thing I do when I rent a van is I think about how I can customize it to my liking,
next
sound
day,
system, rims, all that.
The next day, they had to hand it in randomly. So the military was like, "What the fuck, you motherfuckers!" Like, goddamn. But damn, that comment threw me off.
Who rents it or gets a rental vehicle and you customize it? You put. I mean, all right, I can see like, doing something minor, bringing a Bluetooth speaker in there, but like, no, let's put a sound system in this bitch. We're gonna have it for a couple days. We gotta get some rims on this bitch. We're taking it out. Like, who?
Dude, the weird thing about that mission was really weird because there was a I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. I had to help a dude do the fucking linen, and there was a fucking body bag that he blew up, and that was almost 3 years ago. So it was like blood, pus, and all this shit. Dude, to this day, I can still smell it. It's weird. I if somebody cuts themselves across the room and there's blood, I can smell it. It's really weird. I'm like,
it tends to get you hard, right?
I'm so fucking flat. You're so fucking flat.
So I know we were going to talk about this new big thing with AI, how it's so there's so many different aspects of it. I think we could start with images and stuff. One of the biggest ones I see now is Midjourney. If you don't follow Midjourney on Facebook, whatever. I definitely recommend you do, because it's mind blowing. So what Midjourney on Facebook is just like a
Wait, but hold
chat
on,
where
hold on,
everybody's
hold on. By the way,
posting all their
Seth,
random pictures.
hold on. By the way, Seth, if you're watching, you might as well subscribe to the YouTube channel, because the Facebook thing is to get it out there more, and you know you want to watch more, Seth. So just subscribe.
I think you should show them a nipple.
Show me a nipple
as a bonus. So what you're showing right now, these are all AI generated images of Duke Nukem. Is what, an 80s movie?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, the realism of some of these pictures, but what do you do is you basically feed it prompts via hashtags and stuff like that. And you type in Duke Nukem 80s movie, 80s action movie, and you can get more specific with the prompts. Type of director you want it to be. And I've seen some wild ones. I've seen like Star Wars done like it was a Stanley Kubrick movie. I've actually seen, I keep seeing more and more of it, people posting pictures of things that they don't realize are AI. Like, actually, our sister Bridget posted one today. She doesn't realize it was a mushroom bed. The mushroom bed's clearly a Midjourney picture. There's certain things, details. This is people typing in like steampunk motorcycles and all this weird stuff. And this is one of the ideas that came up. So, I mean, just the realism in some of these pictures is mind blowing.
Well,
And
this one you sent me looks real. This one.
There's a bunch. I mean, so also I don't know how some people get prompts to look pretty real, and other people get much realer looking stuff. I'll go back for a second. People get much realer stuff, and I think it's basically you upscale it with a graphics, some sort of a graphics software. So I think you can basically clean it up and everything. And I've seen pictures of people that you just couldn't tell are fake. But one thing it has trouble doing is hands and mouths, like teeth. I've seen it'll give humans shark teeth. I've seen this is an image of a bunch of hands and stuff, and this is kind of what it thinks. It just for some reason doesn't understand hands, and I'm sure you can get very specific with the prompts and get better results. But I know it's always got like that's the way you could tell a Midjourney or an AI pictures that you look everything
Seth,
looks super real,
I
and you look and
swear
like
to
there's maybe an
God,
extra
Seth, I will
finger
kiss you.
hanging off. What was
Seth,
that?
I will kiss you. I swear to God, if you comment again, I will kiss you.
What?
It looks like Jeepers Creepers or whatever you guys just called. Seth, I'm gonna kiss you. He's just being cute.
Skip to the next one. These are gonna be more hands. It's just the way this thing has trouble. So you have a lot of this image is blocked out from what you're presenting.
Yeah.
Because of the screen ratio. You have a very wide ratio, but I mean, you could clearly see fingers coming out of somebody's fucking face, which there's another one. It just has trouble producing hands, which is really good, but you still get some realistic faces. Skip to the next one. I mean, look at this.
And this is
It's
Journey,
crazy.
right?
People would think that this is a real picture, a real vintage picture, but
I
this
thought
is
it
an
was
AI
when you sent
generated
it to
picture
me.
of Midjourney. No, it's mind blowing. Go to the next one. Oh yeah, no, that's just Wes Scanlon from. No, you could show that one. That's just Wes Scanlon from
it's Wes Scanlon.
Puddle of Mud singing his little heart out. Skip to the
Unfortunately,
next one.
that's not fucking
The next one is
AI.
actually the most impressive one. Go to the next one.
Oh, there we go.
That one. That is an AI generated
Wow,
picture.
I
mean,
thought that
look
was
at
real.
that,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
It's
That's
nuts,
not
man.
real at
It's-
all.
I mean, this thing just was fed very specific prompts, and this is the results. But if you go on the Midjourney page, you'll see everybody's just dumping in their stuff. Someone did Harry Potter as if it was a 70s detective movie, and it's excellent. All the characters are there with big mustaches and big aviator sunglasses. And I saw somebody post recently about that that Oppenheimer movie, and how there was look at this
Oppenheimer,
explosion from the Oppenheimer movie. It's really done the explosions, but it's funny because the picture wasn't real. It was a picture from AI that someone did on the Oppenheimer movie. So I keep seeing these pictures being shared all the time. People saying, "Oh my God, look at this! This is real. This is real." And it's like, clearly, it's not. Now, if there's hands in the picture, you can tell right off the bat that it's not a real picture. But it's crazy. Now, it also makes you want to think that these pictures are looking so real. Makes you wonder that, like, in the future, are pictures, like physical photos, gonna not be admissible in court? Because it's like, unless it's a digital photo contains information, you can tell that it was
Yeah, metadata.
generated. Yeah, but as far as like a physical photo, if you had that of like somebody committing a crime, whatever, and it's like It's I don't think it's like something that photos used to hold up more than anything in court, and I think it's just they're gonna be thrown out. You got AI music now. I know you can get royalty free like DJ music done through AI, and it'll just give you pretty damn good fucking music. And it's scary. Eventually, you're not gonna need artists. They're gonna be able to own these AI computers and not have to pay them anything, and just produce songs and make money. And it's just
Well, I got one
kind
for
of
you.
nauseating.
I got one for you. I have to go pee because we've gone way over, but I like the fact that we're going over. Let me play this. Let me go pee. And this is this is called Open Jukebox. You ever hear that?
Yep.
So this is one of a Queen song they did. Let me undo this.
I don't know if it's just me, but it sounds like absolute dog shit. Yeah, so it's super interesting that this thing can create songs and everything, but the whole thing you're gonna deal with is sorry if you hear my son crying in the background. He's doing his little late night thing. But anyway, the thing that makes you think though is these songs. You're getting songs that they sound good, but there's still like audio problems. Like,
Yeah,
sometimes
obviously.
something's too loud and this is too loud. You can't edit that though. So like if you were a recording engineer and you had these songs that you were producing AI, how would you go about editing that? You don't get separate tracks. Also, how do you feed it the prompts like the way AI fucks hands up? It's never going to understand proper levels and compression and reverb and stuff like that. So you'd have to go back and you can't really edit it. You don't have tracks or stems and stuff like that on a digital on a DAW. So there's no way of editing it. And also is there going to be software in the future for editing AI music? Is it going to be more of like a binary sequence editing? Where you're just kind of editing ones and zeros in a digit thing just to change a certain thing on a timeline on the song. I know it's very, very weird. So I feel like this is another rabbit hole fucking conversation.
I think this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen to us. Seth says Hyman in the woods. Because that's Seth.
What do you say?
Seth said Hyman in the woods. That looks like the Jeepers Creepers.
God, Hyman in the Woods. So from what I remember, Hyman in the Woods was a drink they mixed. I'm pretty sure I want to say it was his good friend Ezzo had asked for a drink. The only thing they had or whatever they mixed for him, it was him and Wallace mixed Sambuca and Jack Daniels together. And they called it a Hyman in the Woods and gave it to him to drink, and he drank it. And that just sounds like the most horrible fucking mixture. Licorice and Jack Daniels. Yeah, so if you guys want to assign Hyman in the Woods, I don't know what the exact ratios are. I'm pretty sure the ratios aren't going to make it taste any better, but go for yours.
Enhance. Stop.
That's the new AI shit.
Oh, the photo thing. He looks
By the
white.
way,
It's
I
like he's just
have to
drinking all
pause
day.
it. I have to pause it because YouTube will fucking strike us. But
Oh, you should just pull it down.
but yeah, you get it.
Yeah, we got a photo. And
But
you can actually see around the room. in
you
the
were
photo.
talking to, so before this ended, we were talking about the Seth said it was so bad. He said the drink was so bad. By the way,
There's
Seth.
no way
by the
something
way,
like that would
Seth,
be
if you don't fucking like and subscribe, I swear to God, Windpipes Johnson will fucking haunt you. But you were talking about the AI ship, dude. It's really funny because you brought that up yesterday, and today this came out.
Hey Max, what's going on? I'm X, and from this moment on, I'm gonna be your own personal AI DJ on Spotify. Let's go. Up next, I know you've been on a summer song kick lately, so I went back for some of your old summertime favorites.
Thank you,
See if
Seth.
it warms you up. Next up, some of the music you had on a lot back in 2018.
Do you think of me?
So, Aaron wants to know.
That's
Aaron said
crazy.
we are living in a movie, but the question is, what is the genre? We are living in a science fiction dystopia, like
I was
Equilibrium.
just gonna say it has to be a dystopian.
Equilibrium is probably the closest that we have. If you've never seen Equilibrium, Aaron, I suggest you just watch it. It's probably
It'd be
I think, a
nice if
movie-
we were in more of a V for Vendetta thing, where we were on that like rebellious revolution side. because
Nah,
that'd be,
Americans are
pretty
too
sweet.
stupid, and Americans are too lazy to do that. But hold on, let's finish this out because you said this yesterday, and goddamn, Sean, if you're not a fucking Johnny Carson seer.
Walking out there.
All right, Max, let's get you out of your feels and switch up the vibe. You've been into dance music lately. I got this brand new release to get you moving. Introducing DJ, the best of Spotify made just for you, one tap away. Powered by AI, delivered by me, your very own DJ.
That's it, man.
Wow.
They did it. They did it less than 24 hours than what you asked that question.
We're just one step away from Skynet. Where's
We're
Miles
s-
Dyson when you need him?
We're so close. We're so close. Who cares? It's over. Do we? Where's Miles Dyson? You piece of shit. Dude,
Well,
just
AI music's pretty good, but it's not as good as Coco Melon.
dude. Thank God you said that. So, I don't even know how to introduce this. So you have to sit there. You have to realize that the name or the lettering is ANANSI, which is an African name, but it's not an African name when you say it out loud like Cocomelon. I just skip past it. So we might have to pause it because I think Cocomelon will copyright strike us. So
Oh, I'm sure Coco Melon's got everything on lock.
I'll pause it real quick so they don't do that.
Well, you don't even have to pause it, just talk over it.
Nancy the spider, clever and small.
What?
And Nancy the spider, cleverest of all.
Man.
When there's a problem, and Nancy finds a way.
Everybody knows that when there's a problem, a Nazi finds a way.
Ooh. Yeah. Coco Melon. You know what?
A Nazi.
The thing that blows my
is a
mind when a lot of things like this come
spider.
out, like there's not a group or a panel
3
of people
weeks
to
ago.
approve things, and this really went through that many hands, and everybody's like, "Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Let's just put it out."
3 weeks ago. A Nazi, the spider, he owns a bunch of camps.
I'm pretty sure that was like an old march song in the 30s in Germany.
No, that's well. I'm
That's
gonna
what they
play-
sang in school. This was the song they
Nope,
sang in
not
school.
that one. They did.
I thought you. Oh no! You don't need this.
Ooh, you might be right now that I'm listening to it.
Yeah, get rid of this. What the hell are you playing?
Wow,
rid
you
of
really
this.
might be right. Holy shit! I think you are right. Holy shit! I never put that together, but listen to this one.
When there's a puzzle, Anansi saves the day.
Let's not listen to these back and forth, honestly.
This is really weird.
You
Yeah,
know, if people want to do their own studying and find a way to mash these
Alls
songs
I
up,
know-
go ahead. But I just feel like when it comes down to the old school German stuff, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be near it. I'm going to just
I just
tiptoe
think it's funny
around
though.
it
And
and
not
just...
see the spider, clever and small. It's like, okay. And not see the spider.
I'm not a Coco Melon fan anyway. I hear bad things about it as far as like development and stuff. So if you got a kid, Miss Rachel, Sesame Street's pretty dope too.
So you, I was at work when you told me the breaking news for this.
No more tours.
No more tours. 2, 3.
Well,
three.
Well, no, yeah, this would be 3 because he's had, I think, in '91 he had no more tours, and then he did no more tours in the late 2010s, and then now it's official health-wise, no more tours as per doctor. But
Yep.
he had a fall when he had some pins and stuff in his body. It was like pins or rods, whatever, in his
Yep.
spine, and he had this fall, and it knocked all these things out of position. It was very, very bad fall with terrible results, and he had to undergo surgery. It was a spinal surgery, and it sounded like he wanted to blame the doctor. He didn't. He was nice about it, but he said that the surgery from this doctor left him kind of like unable to walk for the most part. He really
Okay.
can't. He wants to perform. He said his heart and his mind and everything are so in it, but he just can't physically do it. It's really, really sad. Like, you knew it was going to happen. At least he's still alive, but I mean, it's just, it sucks to see them have to tap out. It really does. And especially
Did you
Ozzy.
listen to
Ozzy
the
was, like,
new
touring
album or no?
force. A little bit here and there.
So the new album is like Ozzy, and then it's some weird thing like Ozzy and Friends. It's not though. So they have like one song.
Patient Number 9 or something.
Yeah. So Patient Number 9, it's Ozzy and Jeff Beck. It's not. It's Ozzy and Andrew Watt, and then Jeff Beck on solo.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
It's-
Like
so,
they
there was a song
oddly
with Mike
named it.
McCready, the guitarist from Pearl Jam, and when you hear the main riff, it doesn't sound like a Mike McCready riff
Yep.
at all. I think you're right. I think it sounds like they got these people in there just to do a solo, and it sucks. It's a little deceiving and everything, especially like if you were gonna do a song with Jeff Beck, like I would really appreciate if you had Jeff Beck write the melody of the song and lead it. Jeff Beck's an unfortunate one. We lost, I think January 23rd. I want to say, very, very sad. Contracted some sort of
Seth said
bacterial
that we should
meningitis and
visit.
passed
Seth
away.
said before you say that. Seth said we should visit the South. It's hilarious here. Seth, we will
Where is he?
visit the South if you can find a venue where we can do this live. I'll
Also,
do
we
a
need
live
somebody's
show
living room.
from your living room. No, but we'll do a live show if we get big enough, which maybe we won't. But if it ever came down to it, hell yeah, I would do that. Fuck. But yeah. Jeff Beck died earlier this year.
Oh, well, that's on a sad note. Let's go on a happy note. So, famous actor James Hong. I don't know if many people are familiar with him. His credits go back years, and his credits are so vast. I mean, you're actually just playing a scene from Blade Runner. He does actually. He plays the. Oh yeah, see this slide thing. You have a bad format. We got to fix this sometimes. So anyway, so James Hong turned 94. I want to say 2 days ago. And a ton of movies. Blade Runner. The Chinese restaurant episode of Seinfeld, which is great. Seinfeld, table of 4. He was also the father of the girlfriend in Wayne's World.
Oh yeah, I
Very,
forgot
very
about
funny
that.
scene,
Holy
but
shit.
yeah, so I mean, he just needs that recognition. But there's a lot of these actors that are in their 90s, and Betty White got so much attention. I'm not saying take any attention away from her. I'm just saying once you hit your 90s, I think there needs to be a lot of attention on these actors, just praising them. So,
When I first heard about cocaine, babe.
That
So you got Hong turning 94. We got William Shatner. Shatner is gonna be 92, which is amazing. We got Mel Brooks, 96.
96 and making a movie, by the way, or just came out of the movie.
Oh no, he just came out with a show. It's
Well, he came out with
Oh, no,
American
it's a-
History Part 2, and then now he's
oh,
doing
that's right.
something else.
It is a
Yep.
movie. It's a Netflix movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
History of the World Part 2, which he promised since the 80s. So yeah, he turned 96. Tony Bennett's 96. Harry Belafonte's 95. Bob Barker is 99.
Yeah,
I could go on forever, baby.
And then you got Norman Lear, who's
Norman
100.
Lear, who's 100 or 101.
People aren't familiar with Norman Lear. Norman Lear wrote all the fabulous shows in the 70s, All in the Family,
Taxi,
Jeffersons, and all that
yep.
stuff. And
I think he
also
even did
helped
The Simpsons at first. I'm not sure on
He
that.
also
but that
helped
might-
put like black sitcoms on the map and stuff, which just amazing. But 100, and I mean, this guy needs to be recognized. Obviously he's not going to be around for too much longer. If he makes it 105, that'd be still insane. But
By the way,
these
James
people
Hong
need
is
to
in
be
the
recognized
background for
and
this
praised.
video that I'm playing,
Who?
which is Blade Runner.
Oh yeah. That's James Hong right there. He's the artificial eyeball salesman.
Oh yeah. By the way, isn't Rutger Howard who died? He's in at that scene too.
Yeah, that's Rutger Hauer. Yeah, he passed away. What, last year maybe? 2 years ago?
3 years ago.
His final scene in Blade Runner is one of the best scenes ever. So many aspects of that scene. We're not going to dissect it, but an incredible scene. Incredible scene. So
It's crazy because I know what you're saying. Like all these guys are getting so old in acting, but I think worse than that are these guys getting old in music. Unfortunately, you have guys like Eddie Van Halen who fucking passed way too young. But I mean, we're at a point,
65, right?
Yeah, we're at a point where like Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, Brian May, Roger Taylor, they're all at an average of 75.
Gilmore.
Yeah, well,
The rest of
goddamn
the
Dave
everybody
Gilmour.
in Sabbath is still around.
Everybody in
Crazy.
Sabbath is still around, but they're all like an average of 75. Like it's
Paul
super weird
McCartney's
because we grew up
80.
with these guys. You know what's weird? So I had this story about Paul McCartney. Not personally, but I had a buddy see Paul McCartney about 5 or 4 years ago. 5 years ago, I think he was 76, 77. Paul McCartney played 4 hours straight. And he didn't take a
Those
break.
Greenies, bro.
He didn't take
Still
a break.
those greenies.
He just eats spinach. No, but he played everything.
You know who needs to take a break?
Roger Waters.
Our boy Wes Scantlin.
Oh yeah, Wes
Our boy
Scantlin.
Wes Scantlin needs to take a break. You don't want to be caught being Wes Scantlin. Wes Scantlin is our famous friend who is the singer of Puddle of Mud.
Puddle of Mud vocalist Wes.
Everybody knows that wonderful version of Puddle of Mud's about a girl acoustic, I think, at Sirius Radio. He actually blames
You
his,
have to pause that because Sirius will get us.
well, no, I'm talking over it, so
They will
kinda fuck
still.
with them, Hold
But
on,
it-
let's-
but-
Hang me out to dry. Crazy bad. So anyway, he blames his bad singing on women for keeping him up late at night, as if there isn't anything cringier to say,
Yeah. It's super lame.
So he got arrested. That's why you don't want to be Wes Scantlin. He got arrested, and this is going to be the second time he's been arrested for this. Going to his old house. He unfortunately lost his house in a foreclosure, or to a foreclosure. He bought the house in 2005, lost it less than 10 years later. It was like a little under $2 million house. I'm assuming he lost it because, Puddle of Mud doesn't really have too much power anymore. Nobody really cares about them.
I'm sure they still have tours and shit.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah,
by the way,
they're
Wes
touring- they're
Scantlin.
doing
if
about
you-
a girl.
By the
That's
way,
pretty much what
Wes
you're looking for.
Scantlin. If you ever watch this, and we'll go to war over this. I would love to go to war with Wes Scantlin over this. Oh my god, that would be great. Just to have a YouTube beef with him would be hilarious.
I mean, he seems like a wild person. He had he
I'm
said Fred Durst should
sucking
direct a movie about his life, which is pretty fucking.
Wait,
I
what?
don't even know. He said Fred Durst should direct a movie about my life, like, and then girls keep me up late at night. Like, it just sounds like cringy, shitty things, and trying to sing that Nirvana song like that. Like, you're just not aware of how bad you are. But so anyway, he got arrested for the same thing again, which is going to be going back to his old home that he lost in a foreclosure. So he lost his home, and I guess I don't know if he just gets fucking drunk or he just gets emotional. But he visits his home. One time he had done a little small vandalizing, broke some cameras and stuff. But that first time got him a court order to stay away from the house. So the woman that owns the home now has an order against him, and he still showed up a second time, and there's a video of it. And it's just nuts. Like, you got arrested for that. But he's also been arrested for trying to bring a BB gun on a plane. He's been arrested for trying to ride a baggage carousel at an airport. So it seems like when he gets to an airport, he just gets pretty wild. But it just seems like a wild person. Also, the whole, I feel like he probably does drugs. I feel like he gets wild and does like fucking smoke crack or some shit. Wes Scantlin, I'm calling you out for smoking crack.
Wes Scantlin, I'll fucking prove it.
Wes Scantlin was arrested this week in Hollywood at his former residence in a bizarre incident, according to a new report from Radar Online. A person who apparently lives at the home posted a video of the ordeal on their TikTok and said they learned that apparently this was a rock star who used to live at the home that
By
was
the way, fuck this fat fuck. I don't know who he is. Fuck him though.
foreclosed upon and had showed back up, and they had to contact law enforcement.
Why fuck this guy?
I just felt like saying it.
Who used to live at the home that was foreclosed upon and had showed back up, and they had to contact law enforcement. Now, over the years, unfortunately, Wes has faced a number of arrests, and in recent years, though, it seems as though he's been doing better, so this is all the more unfortunate. Now, Wes and his home, his former home, have also an interesting history. At times, Wes has previously alluded to his home being what he feels was stolen from him, including this rant that he went on stage back in 2016, where he accused a man in the crowd of stealing his house from him.
You stole my f***ing house? This motherfucker right here? You stole my f***ing house? And now you gotta stand right in front of me? This motherfucker stole my f***ing house.
And so now we have this new incident where Wes was apparently arrested on Monday and charged with trespassing. The report from Radar Online says LAPD took him into custody after he allegedly showed up to an old home he lost to foreclosure and caused drama. According to jail records obtained by Radar Online, Scantlin was arrested on Monday in Hollywood and taken to jail on a misdemeanor trespassing charge. Now, apparently someone who lived there posted a video on TikTok, which doesn't show very much. The screenshot will do justice here. But essentially, they have the caption and an image of apparently what appears to be a Hummer that's pulled up in the driveway with the caption that says, "When you walk down your driveway to catch an Uber and find a stranger camped outside and then realize it's a famous rock singer who had his house foreclosed on and has been arrested several times before and was coming back to claim the house. So you have to call the police because he begins to threaten the maid you hired. And then he gets arrested because turns out he has an active order against him." The report goes on to say the video showed outside of a home that Scantlin once owned in Hollywood. The rock star purchased the home in 2005 for $1.7 million. He lost the home to foreclosure in 2015. In 2016, Scantlin was arrested for showing up to the home and destroying property. Photos from the scene showed broken windows and Scantlin being taken out of the home by officers. The Puddle of Mud singer was
But why?
Bro, I want to know the whole thing of him on stage. Like, was that guy really the person that bought that house, or was he just fucked up? It sounded like this guy.
Seth said
drunk.
So Seth said he smokes the forbidden rock. He probably does.
He would also probably be the type of dude that has rocks on his chest. I would have to say.
Oh, he's the Windpipe Johnson master. But
yeah, buns, rocks in the chest, all that good shit.
It's probably not with what you said with him being like, is that the guy that no. How do you, first off, you play concerts all the time. You just played a concert last night. How do you just pick
I wouldn't call them concerts. I would say they're small shows.
But how do you pick somebody out from the crowd?
I mean, it's easy, but it's just the whole thing is, how do you know the person that, like, so the bank foreclosed on your house.
Okay.
It's the bank. So obviously the bank's not there. It's not the face of the bank. Hi, my name's Chase. I'm fucking Chase Bank. Or I'm Wells Fargo. But anyway, the person that bought your house, maybe there's a slim chance the person that bought his house was at his show. I doubt it. But they're not the person that stole his house. They paid for his house. The bank stole his house in a sense. I don't agree with foreclosures in the sense like you don't pay your taxes. Like they just like taxing you and everything. So just because you didn't pay your taxes on something you already own, the bank gets to take it. I don't think that's right. I agree with him being mad, but grow up, bro. Grow up. Also, don't buy a house you can't afford.
Aren't you supposedly a fucking a millionaire? Like, You can get. I'm sure you can get another house.
Net worth. Let's see his net worth.
I'm sure it's lower than that, but I'm just saying, like, why are you going back to the scene of the fucking place that you were kicked out of? It just sounds like he's. By the way, this guy, just have to say, this dude reporting on Rockfeed, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him so much. I'm looking at his.
I don't know why. I don't.
It's his
you're just so
CKY
negative
shirt.
Sometimes this guy, he looks like he gave us a good report. You're hating.
Yeah,
on
it's
this
his
dude. He
CKY
might be,
shirt,
he might be
man.
the coolest dude ever. Yeah, he might even smoke the coolest fucking crack ever and be so. I'm joking.
What's that to do with me?
Wes Scantlin has a net worth of $500,000.
said Windpipe Johnson for the win. Windpipe Johnson for the win. How much?
500,000.
That's it. Ooh, that fucking shit is good. That fucking sniffy stuff.
Yeah, you look like you're fucking doing drugs. You should
No,
tell,
it's the
tell the
fucking
audience
white-
what you're
it's
doing.
the
It's
white
just snuff.
horse.
Snuff
It's
is
the
just
fucking
tobacco
snuff.
that you put in your nose. But
Yeah, it's snuff.
you look like you were sticking a Coke spoon up your fucking.
I saw
nose.
that. I saw
You
it
look
when
like,
I did it.
You look like Amber Heard with the tissue on trial at Johnny.
Oh, but Seth said fucking Windpipe Johnson for the win. Which, by the way, Windpipe Johnson is one of the greatest drawings I ever did. But this is I just don't like him because of the CKY shirt. I mean, he's probably fine. It's just me.
Yeah, you're judging a book by its cover. Don't ever
Seth said he looks like an off-brand Ricky Gervais or whatever his name is. He does. There was a point where who's this guy? Oh, Wes Scantlin. Oh, Boulder. Yeah, I get it. It is funny, but it does look like him. But I don't know. I don't like this guy. But the Wes Scantlin shit, like, dude, how fucked up are you? As a celebrity, that you get so fucked up, you're like, I gotta go back.
The
to this
guy's
house.
obviously got issues. That cover of About a Girl is probably the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. His voice is like.
You gotta know, I'm not just some guy. Brennan, that is the voice of an angel.
100%. Wes Scantlin has the voice of an angel.
Ever wonder
That's
why
what we
so
should
many
have named it. This episode should have been called Wes Scantlin has the voice of an angel.
I'm Wes Scantlin.
You know, he needs to pay his taxes and not lose his fucking house. Oh. He's got such a fierce look on his face.
God damn, it's so terrible. It's so bad.
I'm telling you, I think he's just a really out there dude that gets fucked up. And it's crazy. So his band, obviously, they rehearsed this song a couple times.
Dude, did you
they probably
ever
knew they were
look-
going in there? Like, they're probably like, this guy train wrecks this song. Let's get ready to ride off the rails. Going off the rails on the Scantlin train.
You ever see the band's face when they're playing?
Yeah, they're embarrassed.
They're just laughing. They're like, all right.
Yeah, well, I think we can end on that note, Scantlin.
Sucking fucking dick. It's so bad, dude. It's so terrible. So
don't get caught being Wes Scantlin is the point. Don't get caught, Scantlin.
friends don't let friends Scantlin.
Yeah, you don't
It's a
want to do
shirt.
that.
That's what you want.
What would Scantlin do?
What would WWSD, dude? Yo, what would Well, he would get fucked up, and then he'd really fucking let us play.
He's like, bro, about to catch a charge, man. Hold my drink.
That looks like a house I belong to.
Hold this drink, bro. It's a Hyman in the Woods. It's my favorite. I'm about to go catch a charge.
Jesus Christ, what a fucking horrible human being. But Jesus.
Yeah, well,
dude,
hope
it's
you
so
guys
weird.
enjoyed
Like,
Saturday night with
hold
us,
on,
man.
before you do
Hope
that,
you
I
guys
can't
enjoyed
even
it. We went
believe.
a little over, but
before you do that, I can't believe like that's a famous dude. That's a
He's not
dude who
really
had
famous.
had money. Yeah, he was famous like 15, 20 years ago, but that's a dude who had money. He's like, I see that house. I live there. I'm gonna break into it. It's like, but why? Why are you doing this? Whatever.
terrible. Terrible.
Anyway,
But,
before we go, I just want to announce that next weekend I will, as of what I said in the intro, I will be going back to the National Guard, so I will not be here. There is a chance that we do a pre-recorded episode of All Funny Shit that will be going live Saturday. And then the week after, obviously, we will be doing the Friday show with Giselle, where I bring her back into the RV7 community or IRL community. And then that same or next day, you and I will be doing the
I wanna get freaky with you.
we will be doing the regular show. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, share it out on all your platforms. I hope you enjoyed this.
Send nudes, sex late at night, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and we went way over, but that's because obviously I don't think I'm gonna be here or to do a show this weekend, but we're gonna probably try to pre-record when we're working this up on the schedule. So I hope everybody enjoyed. I hope Aaron, Seth, Pablo, all you guys like and subscribe on YouTube, and let's head out for the night. Get the fuck out of my fucking house, and I hope everybody has a good night.